NASCAR's winningest part-timer, Pete Hamilton. Pete Hamilton was a very talented wheelman, competing from 1962 through 1975, making starts in the NASCAR Grand National Series, now the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Sportsman Series, now the Xfinity Series, NASCAR Grand American Series, Super Late Model, Modifieds, and just late models. Following a successful driving career, Hamilton also served as a car builder and a mentor to several drivers on the Southern dirt track circuit in the 1980s. Born on July 20th, 1942, in Dedham, Massachusetts, Peter Goodwill Hamilton got his start racing at Norwood Arena Speedway in the street division in 1962, where his talent behind the wheel quickly showed, earning him the nickname the Dedham Flash, becoming the Thompson World Series Twin 50s champion in 1965, as well as winning 4 NASCAR National Sportsman Division races in Norwood, Massachusetts. By 1967, he made it up to the NASCAR National Sportsman Division Series, and he won the series championship, winning 3 sportsman races, 2 at Norwood and 1 at Malta. Behind the wheel, the Worcester Sand and Gravel number 69, before he would move south to continue his racing career. Hamilton's amazingly quick rise through the motorsports ranks continued in 1968 when he made his NASCAR Grand National, now NASCAR Cup Series debut at Weaverville in the spring, starting 11th and finishing 12th after a bad wheel ended his race early on lap 215. Behind the wheel of Rocky Hinton's number 5 Ford, making 10 starts throughout the 68 Cup Series season. His best start was 3rd at Beltsville in the early summer, and his best finish was 2nd at Smoky Mountain Raceway in the early summer. At race 36 at Asheville Weaverville Speedway in the early fall, Hamilton switched to A.J. King's number 1 Dodge. Jim Ruggles served as Pete Hamilton's crew chief in 1968. In that number 1, his best start was 4th at Martinsville in the fall, and his best finish in the number 1 was 7th at Charlotte in the fall. Overall, in 16 starts in the 1968 season of the Cup Series, he scored 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s, finishing 32nd in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings, also being named 1968 NASCAR Cup Series Rookie of the Year. After a reasonably strong rookie season up in the Cup Series, Hamilton decided to run the NASCAR Grand American Series for the 1969 season, behind the wheel of Gene White's number 25 Chevrolet. The NASCAR Grand American Series was a division of smaller pony cars, finding a ton of success in the only season that he would run the majority of the Grand American schedule. His best start was 1st 9 times at Gresham Motorsports Park and Mississippi Motor Speedway in the spring, South Boston Speedway, Augusta, Charlotte, and Hickory in the summer, and then Thompson, Lakewood, and Mississippi in the fall. His best finish was 1st 12 times, both races at Mississippi Motor Speedway and Hickory Motor Speedway, Beltsville, South Boston, Augusta, Daytona Road Course, and Savannah in the summer, then Stafford, Thompson, and Langley in the fall. Overall, in 26 out of 35 NASCAR Grand American starts, he scored 9 poles, 12 wins, 14 top 5s, and 14 top 10s, finishing 12th in final Grand American point standings. Hamilton also returned to the NASCAR Cup Series, making 3 starts throughout the 1969 season, 2 behind the wheel of A.J. King's number 1 Dodge. His best start was 2nd, and his best finish was 8th, both coming in the first 125-mile qualifying race held for the Daytona 500, held obviously at Daytona International Speedway in the spring, as well as making another Cup Series start for Banjo Matthews behind the wheel of a number 27 Ford at Atlanta in the spring, starting 21st and finishing 5th. The following season, in 1970, Pete Hamilton made the move back to the NASCAR Cup Series, running a select schedule for Petty Enterprises as a teammate to Richard Petty, behind the wheel of a number 40 7-Up Plymouth, predominantly running the speedways 1 mile in length or longer. Maurice Petty served as his crew chief for the 1970 NASCAR Cup Series season, again finding a ton of success, especially considering that he was only running a partial schedule. Hamilton's best start was 1st at Michigan in the early summer, and his best finish was 1st 3 times at both Talladega races and Daytona in the spring, becoming the youngest driver to win the Daytona 500 at the age of 27, remaining the youngest to win the Great American Race until Jeff Gordon would pull off the feat in 1997 at the age of 25. Then in 2011, Trevor Bayne would beat both by winning the Daytona 500 at the age of 20. He also made one start at Langley in the fall, behind the wheel of the number 32 Plymouth owned by Dick Brooks, starting 17th and finishing 3rd. Overall, in 16 Cup Series starts, Hamilton scored 1 pole, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, and 12 top 10s, finishing 21st in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. For the 1971 NASCAR Cup Series season, Hamilton would return to the series, though not for Petty Enterprises, but rather Cotton Owens, behind the wheel of a number 6 American brake block Plymouth, again running a select schedule, though he did make 6 more starts than he did in 1970. His best start was first, twice, at Michigan and Texas World Speedway in the fall, and his best finish was first in the first 125-mile qualifying race held at Daytona in the spring. Hamilton also made 2 starts in Junior Field's number 91 Chevrolet, qualifying strong both starts, 2nd and 3rd at Malta and Islip in the summer, suffering issues both races, DNFing both times, finishing 27th and 23rd. Overall, in 22 NASCAR Cup Series starts, he scored 2 poles, 1 win, 11 top 5s, and 12 top 10s, finishing 24th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Earlier in that year, Hamilton made a one-off Grand American start at Road America, behind the wheel of a number 92 Camaro, finishing 35th. The 1972 season saw Pete Hamilton make 5 NASCAR Cup Series starts, behind the wheel of a number 9 Plymouth owned by Jack Halsby, cutting back his racing schedule due to a neck injury he suffered in a 1969 Grand American race. His best start was 4th, and his best finish was 5th, both coming at Rockingham in the fall. Overall, in 5 Cup Series starts, he scored 1 top 5 and 1 top 10, as well as making a one-off Grand American start at Bowman Gray Stadium in a number 92 Camaro, starting 22nd and finishing 9th. Hamilton would retire from NASCAR in 1973 following 2 NASCAR Cup Series starts. One for Jack Halsby, behind the wheel of his number 9 Plymouth at Daytona in the spring, starting 2nd and following a blown engine on lap 33, he finished 40th. His final NASCAR Cup Series start would come at Atlanta in the spring. For the Crawford brothers, behind the wheel of a number 22 Plymouth, starting 10th and following another blown engine on lap 38, he would finish 39th, retiring because of the said neck injury he suffered in 1969. Returning to the short track circuit in 1974, running the World Series of Asphalt held at the New Smyrna Speedway. In the 4-race event, he scored 2 wins, 4 top 5s, and 4 top 10s, on his way to winning the Super Late Model Division Championship. Later in 1974, Hamilton would drive his number 25 late model to victory in the Snowball Derby, held at Five Flags Speedway in the winter. Hamilton would repeat as the World Series of Asphalt Super Late Model Series champion again in 1975, winning 3 out of the 4 races held in the 1975 edition of the event. Another event that he won in 1975 was the Rattler 250, held at South Alabama Speedway. Also returning to the Snowball Derby, unsuccessfully defending his title as champion of the event, starting 2nd and finishing 41st, behind the wheel of his number 25 Nova late model. Following the 1975 season, Pete Hamilton retired from actively driving race cars, moving to Norcross, Georgia, working as a car builder and a mentor to several drivers in the 1980s Southern Dirt Track circuit, only making a couple starts in the early 1990s in a couple Legends races, being voted into the New England Auto Racers Hall of Fame in 1998, then as well as the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame in 2012. Hamilton would pass away on March 21, 2017 at the age of 74 due to complications of a stroke. So, in 64 NASCAR Cup Series starts, Hamilton scored 3 poles, 4 wins, 26 top 5s, and 33 top 10s, with the best points finish of 21st in 1970. In 28 NASCAR Grand American starts, he scored 9 poles, 12 wins, 14 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, with the best points finish of 12th in 1969. In 8 World Series of Asphalt starts, he scored 5 wins, 8 top 5s, and 8 top 10s, winning the 1974 and 75 Super Late Model Division Championship. Also winning the 1974 Snowball Derby and the 1975 Rattler 250 in the Late Model Division. Thanks everyone. Take care.